Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbly.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Coleman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's man. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And here now a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Ryan. He is going to find Hill here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd and 4. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
To throw again is Ryan. And that is incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football. Yeah,
got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Space to maneuver at the 40. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Let's have a look at the defensive starters for New Orleans. They've been pretty solid against the pass. Toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey. 4 down.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's man. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now back to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here we go now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. They'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. It's their quarterback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Boswell for the extra point.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On first down, Ryan. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. That'll bring up second down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now it's Ryan. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Ryan will throw again. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Looking to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll set up a throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So the two teams will head to the locker room. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick, please? Thank you. All right, let's go. Here comes Grant on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Trying to pound it in, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Following the penalty, here's another 2nd and goal from the 5 now. Here's Ryan to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Here's Ryan. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Ryan Shazier in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Give him 30 yards there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. As his guys are in for 6, and the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you got to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Julio Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6.
And partner, is there anything Julio Jones can't do on the football field? One-handed, hauls it in, just snatches it out of the air. He's absolutely impressive and amazing at times.
That was a great one-handed catch. I probably wouldn't want him trying a 50-yard field goal, though. But everything else, I think you're right.
Is that the only thing? Right now, I'm not so sure he couldn't kick it through there, but the way that he goes up and catches the ball, his quarterback, extremely happy to have him on his squad.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Hey, let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. Thomas, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A handoff to Mixon. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game? Back now in Miami, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Ryan now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Ready. Go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Ready. Back 25. Look out. 25
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. Looking sideline, incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Operating from the gun, Ryan. That one complete to Hill. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Ooh, with a juke. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Ryan. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And Hill with it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Sidney Jones. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. You start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Ryan. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Ryan. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Throwing again. Ryan. Smith catches left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again is Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Again, Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Charles Harris, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Ready, blue 80.
Now Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So now here come the Dolphins. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year. to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first, or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They have that feeling that has to be the best. You just go out in complete control of this game here for hopefully one final possession.
And it's a culmination of preparation that began with something along the lines from the head coach of, we're going to win this weekend, and here's how we're going to get it done. And covered all the details that went into it. They practiced them. They went over them. They tweaked the game plan as the week went on. And to find it all coming together and see it finish this way
makes them happy.
Oh, that's satisfying for them.
Yeah, they were very, very good. Now the last stages of this one.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, they're now away.